Yeah, welcome back to our podcast. Where we're going to talk about different business principles and how they can apply to everybody, right? Okay, so we talked about what we should be doing during our downtime in our businesses. Some people are not busy at all, but the ones that are super busy are going to be the ones that come out ahead in the beginning. So, last episode we talked about the next tiger trip.
Okay, better. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, let me move over here. Okay, so we're here to talk about Tiger King and some of the business principles that I noticed when I was watching, and then just kind of overall. And to be honest with you, Kim, had I not had access to our business coach and some of the teachings that he's been showing us and kind of guiding us through, I don't think I would have watched this show the same way. No. And I don't know that people would have understood it the same way as, like, if I would have watched it a year ago, if it was even around a year ago, I don't think I would have had the same business perspective as I do today. And it's kind of interesting. Did you watch it, Kim?
I watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I was like, oh my God, what this girl got me hooked up on right now?
I know, it was the weirdest show. Like, just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, it got super weird. It's definitely number one on my weird list show. So, well, let's talk about it. Did you, just overall thinking, did you think the Tiger King was a good business? Like the business model? Okay, by the way, disclaimer, we are not discussing if raising cats and tigers and selling them. We don't have an opinion on that. We're not talking. We probably do have an opinion on it, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about the basic principles, okay? The basic principle of business. Do you think he was a good businessman, yes or no?
Yes, I believe so, because, he utilized marketing, even though I think he mentioned, like, even though he have like low number of view, he still every single day do a video. And I think that there's a camera that follow him everywhere, like 24/7.
Yeah.
He record everything that they do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think his initial, like, he had some strengths and weaknesses in business, like everybody does, right? But like, his ability to just capture content constantly was incredible. I mean, he just wanted to be filmed. He like wanted to have a say in how things were portrayed and things like that. I mean, he built a studio. Yeah. I think what was impressive about the whole thing was, and it kind of goes back to what JT Fox always talks about is, there's horizontal learning and going vertical and things like that. And what really was impressive about what Tiger King did with his business is he created an ecosystem, different revenue streams of the same business, right? So he had merchandise, he had TV, he had donations, he had just different ways of making money. And then he also, kind of tailed into some other things, trying to work out TV shows and radio shows. And I mean, I know he ran for governor and president and all that crazy stuff, but you know what it did is it was good at marketing. He was a brand. Tiger King was a brand, and he was totally obsessed with it. And I think
that he also hooked up with other organizations too as well to promote, what he do with those cats.
Yeah.
So that kind of
did he sell those too? I mean, it seemed like he was like selling cats.
No, I think it was more like an educational thing, because I know that he was going out to schools and he was going out to like, actually he had a package where like a police force or was it him or was it Doc? I don't remember. But they got a package where they can take pictures with those cats.
Oh, right. I think that was him.
Yeah.
Look, to be honest, guys, we didn't do this like thorough analysis of the whole thing. We watched it one time. That was about all I could stomach. So we might be a little skewed in this. But at the end of the day, he grew his business by creating different avenue streams with the same idea. And that's something that business owners should be doing. If you, health insurance, for example, is there a product? Are you going deep in the products that you're representing? Are you going deep in the niches that you're representing or that you're targeting? What are other things you can do? Can you teach people how to do what you do? Can you sell content? Can you sell courses? There's just so many different ways of looking at your business. And I remember we were in it was actually your brother and I were in a class, a weekend class, and they were talking about this guy. His job was to go in and help small businesses think in different ways. And he used an example of a dog groomer. He's like, the only way they can make money is if they
Grooming
are
a dog.
cutting a dog's hair.
Uh-huh.
So like, what do you do when you don't have a dog in front of you or a cat or whatever animal,
Well,
right?
like this event right now, you know, dog groomers, they can't open up, so there's no way they can accept any, you know, clients coming in. So I guess basically we're
Right,
talking about this pandemic right now.
Dogs don't have corona, right?
Well, but I don't think it's essential business, so it's not open right now.
Pet food is. So guess what? So that was what he was talking about. He's like, I had to teach a entrepreneur who was a dog groomer how to make money without cutting dog's hair. So that if in the event you were unable to cut the dog's hair, you were making money. So he sold product on Amazon. He offered like a subscription service where he could like teach just different styles, different dog breeds, how to handle different temperaments, things like that. So he found 3 or 4 different avenue streams that he didn't even consider outside of dog grooming. You know, they actually started instead of having a facility, they actually did a mobile version, like where they would go around in a van and go to people's houses. So that made money. Their brick and mortar made money. Their products on Amazon made money. Then they created their own product. So they had name branded products on Amazon. They had their own, you know, shampoo and detangler and stuff like that. And you know what? If I was a dog groomer right now, you know what I would be doing? I would be selling a dog kit shampoo and conditioners so your dog can smell like they just got groomed for me when they didn't, until we can see them again. And maybe a brush. And you sell it for like $40. Boom. You know? Or like just kind of like the nail people. I was like, you know, my friend and I, we were just talking about our nails are embarrassing. Don't look at them, okay? But we just bought like these like nail dip kits so we can kind of like makeshift something with our nails. But why couldn't a nail salon just offer that to me? I would have bought that in a second rather than going online and not knowing what I'm going to get, you know? Mm-hmm. So creating an ecosystem of business was that concept right there. But what was outside of marketing and the ecosystem, what was, and I already know what you're going to say, but what was one of the biggest things that helped him get started? What did he do?
Mentor that basically doing the same thing that he's doing, but on like a greater scale. And this doc was, he go by name Doc, I think Doc Endler or something like that. But we're going to just say Doc, okay? So he's like on another different level than this guy, Tiger King. So Tiger King seek him out for, I guess, mentorship and advice and how he can help his business grow to his level too as well, you know?
And I think, I mean, I don't know, but when you agree that sometimes when you have a mentor, if they're the right mentor, you're going to get places a lot faster.
Correct.
And it's worth the money. You know, if somebody said, hey, you know what, let me pay for a mentor. People don't want to pay for a mentor. They don't know what they're going to get. They don't know if they know what they're doing. So at the end of the day, if you find somebody who's successful doing what you do and they're more successful than you, you should probably look at having a mentor.
Yeah, just get them mentorship and just duplicate them. You know, why do you have to reinvent your wheel?
Class, you be a mentor. Make that an avenue stream for your business, right? But let's talk about Doc though, because Doc, you know, in the series they highlight Tiger King as the main character, but there's a couple other business people in there that, you know, had some good things and some questionable things. But you know, the interesting thing about Doc is, didn't you find him to be very like ultra cautious? Like when he was doing his interviews and stuff, he would never say anything super controversial, in my opinion. Like I think he was always playing it safe. He was always kind of like guarded, you know, like his walls were up. He knows that everyone's going to use his words against him, kind of thing. And I think that's kind of how he runs his business too, real close knit. Like what were you talking about his employees? They were, what did you say about them?
Should we talk about it?
Yeah, why not?
So he got them on as apprentice. And then eventually, I don't know if he technically married them or not, but they became his girlfriend or his lover. So he
Yeah.
doesn't have to pay them as much in salary or wages that he needed to, you know?
Well, wasn't one of the ladies, didn't she like leave after a while? And
Yeah, she was interview. Yeah, they interviewed her too as well. Because I
so
think that the reason why she left, because I think that she didn't sleep with him or something like that. That's why, you know?
probably not sleeping with your employees and having, relationships beyond a working one is probably not the best thing Doc Antle did, or Doc Antler, I don't know how you say his name, but he also did an ecosystem.
Correct.
I thought he also created a really good ecosystem of his business and had different ways of diversifying parties, tourism, merchandise.
He rent them out to like movies and to like singers where, they do like music videos and that utilize animals too as well.
Yeah. And again, we're not going to have an opinion on whether we think that's okay or not. I'm sorry, we do have an opinion, but we're not going to talk about that here today because we're here to talk about business principles. I thought the other interesting thing that he did is he actually got ahead of Carol, which we're going to talk about her in a second, but he actually got ahead of her on the legislation side of it. So he knew that she could potentially be a threat on the legislative side. And we're going to get into her in just a second. But I found it interesting that as part of his business, most people do not pay attention to politics. They do not pay attention to laws and things like that. They only pay attention to what directly impacts their business, which is okay, but a lot of people don't even do that. You have to know what's going on in politics. You have to get involved in your community and kind of know what's going on, because if not, it could be your competitor could spin it to where you are now out of the industry. And that's kind of where Carol was going, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, she was pretty smart. Like the way she set up her business too as well.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about that? Let's transition into Carol. We talked about Doc and all that, and he was pretty good, whatever.
So Carol is a competitor of Tiger King, and he felt like she's threatened him because of, so she's pretty smart. She set up her business as a nonprofit, so with a nonprofit, her voice is a lot louder than his. And she used that against him, as a nonprofit, even though her business is like the same as Tiger King. They raise cat and they have this tourism going and coming in, to look at cats and charge a whole bunch of money. But because the way she set up the nonprofit, like her, instead of staff members paying for overhead on payroll, she got these people coming in as a volunteer. How smart is that?
I want to volunteer to like raise tigers and lions, not me.
Yeah, and then she set up like different tiers of the volunteer as well, like different levels. Mm-hmm. So it was a very unique system, the way she set it up as well.
I think she is very meticulous in how she sets up her businesses, how she says things, how she words things. I was actually quite impressed about how her social media presence that she had,
her marketing,
all the content, hey, cool cats and kittens or whatever her thing was. It's a little creepy, but whatever, but I mean, she's got millions of viewers and things like that. So, I mean, do you think out of the three of them, who do you think was the smartest business, just based on
Carol was the most branded, like herself. Like every time she goes somewhere, she always have like her tiger suit on or a tiger print on, so people recognize that, and then with her video and social media, she know how to play with the emotion to get people.
She was very manipulative or meticulous. I don't really know quite what word I'm looking for with it. But I thought she was, I'm not going to have a comment on if I think she killed her husband or not, but we'll talk about that offline. But as a business person, I have to agree. I think that she ran the business. She stayed focused. She stayed on her agenda. And she also, I'm going to give her credit. She also went from the legislative side. She was like, I'm going to get my competitors out of here because they're doing this for a business and I'm doing it as a nonprofit. Although I'm not quite certain how their businesses were set up with Doc and Tiger King, but hers was very, 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 very clear that she was a nonprofit, that I'm a nonprofit, I'm here to help save the animals. She was just, on it. And because of that, she probably, stayed out of the radar from,
Right.
PETA and all those organizations where Tiger King's like, F this, F that, I'll kill everybody. Which, to bring this back in full circle, I think the same ego that really helped him push his business up is the same ego that brought him all the way back down and landed him in jail. When you have an ego, when your business is driven by ego and by emotion, I don't think you're making the best decisions. You have to focus on the what?
Know your numbers. That's what our coach told us. You
Know
got
your numbers.
What come in, what going out, and how's your marketing doing, and things like that. Yeah, you got to fix your holes.
Well, at the end of the day, if you have not watched Tiger King, you should. It was good. It was that good, I thought.
Well, I don't know, because initially when I saw the cover of like Tiger King and then these shady people like in front of it, I didn't actually know what it was. And then you mentioned about like business. I was like, okay, I'll do one or two, episode and see how it goes. Like, oh my God, like people actually like watching this kind of stuff. And it was like ranked number 1 on Netflix.
Well, that's because everyone's quarantined right now. Okay. And they're running out all their shows or out of all these episodes. They're looking for miniseries. I'll tell you, on Netflix, miniseries are my favorite because I only need to watch 5 to 7 series or episodes and you're done. And it's not like you have 20 seasons to catch up on. So it's a good hurricane series, if you will. But okay, well, that is our summary of the Tiger King. So the lessons to be learned here: know your numbers, stay focused, look at mentors, and create an ecosystem. I think those are the top 4 lessons. Well, and how to set up your business. Set up your business the right way. I think those are the top 5 things that I noticed from watching Tiger King.
And don't let your emotion and egos get in the way too as well.
Yeah. Emotions do not make good business decisions. Numbers do. With that being said, we are signing out. Make sure you subscribe, send us a review, and join us for our next podcast where we will be talking about business. Again, no surprise. That's what we do.
All right.